Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Check this out. Hold on. I can hit a button, and I can totally like not see myself because my microphone's in the way. I didn't think that through. Having a hard time keeping it up. The microphone. I mean, it just keeps.
It's the
falling.
age.
It is the age. I have a feeling. Well, this was a high quality when it was young. When it was young, it worked fine. But now it just seems to sag. Oh,
we're talking about the arm, right?
We're talking about the arm holding my microphone.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, look at this. I've done so much organization on my desk, and I really feel like I've set a new standard, Max. I feel like you're dropping behind.
I am definitely.
But
got something in my eye.
Is it possibly your eyeball?
I think so.
Yeah,
definitely not here.
Don't poke it.
Unlikely.
You need them. Yeah.
It's
the end of the year.
It is the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's the last one of the year.
It's the last one of the year, and I thought for sure that you were going to have a funny hat.
I did mention it, but I forgot. But let me fix it.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
That will do. That is a hat, and it certainly is funny. So I think it qualifies on both counts.
See how straight it stays.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've only got a sock, like a Christmas sock. I could put that on my head, but I feel like you're doing enough for both of us.
Yeah. Anyway, box ticked, so we're good.
Yeah, fantastic. So you know what we're doing this week? It's the end of the year. We are going to do the thing where we do the thing about the coffees. We're going to talk about the best coffees, our favorite coffees of the year. I'm hoping that we're going to disagree about everything because it's going to make it a really fun episode.
Yeah. I think I've already set myself up to disagree with you.
I've got. Look at this. Stop talking. So it focuses on me. Okay, there. Look. It's a face. It's the mug.
This is going to be very interesting, by the way, for the people on the podcast.
Yeah, for the people who are listening, they're thinking, how do I stop this podcast? You can't. It's a feature. But I've got a mug from our shop has finally arrived, and I'm very happy with it. I have to say, our product mugs. This is from the Espresso Revolution. Also, God, stepped on my cable.
You snagged.
I snagged myself. The Espresso Revolution T-shirt. And if you're thinner than me, it looks even better. Let's move on to the coffee, Max. What have you got first? I'll tell you what we're going to do. So we've got different categories. We have got dark roast espresso, because these are all espressos, right? We're not going to do any la-di-da, pour overs or anything like that.
I mean, it's
I know that's your thing now. But and it's also I like it. I especially love AeroPressing coffee, but we're going to be talking about espressos, and it doesn't matter whether we buy all sorts of coffee, even if it's not made for espresso, and then we espressorize it. So we put everything through the espresso machine, whether it's meant to be espresso or not. And I can just imagine all the roasters just pulling their hair out. That's a pour over.
Yeah, we don't care.
But we don't care. I put it through the espresso machine. How does it taste now?
Yeah, and then we go like, oh, this is rubbish.
And we go, they make rubbish coffee. So that's my mother would say, well, life's just unfair. Just get used to it. So that's what we've been doing for the year. Has it been a year? Can't have been a year.
I don't know. We didn't start in January, so it probably hasn't been.
No, it hasn't been a year. But we've done, I think, this is episode 33, I'm thinking. So I'm guessing if you take into account the episode 0 and episode 0.5, I think we did.
yeah. We also have decimals.
Which we did. Please don't ever listen to those. God, I'm sure they're terrible. This is before we realized, that you should get equipment to make a podcast. Yeah. And we just thought if we shout really loudly, people can hear us. And
I'm pretty sure they did.
I did. My neighbors certainly did. Yeah. So we've got so that would be probably around 8 months. I'm going to say something like that. And so in that time, I thought to myself, well, we'll do all the UK roasters and then we'll run out of roasters and I'll think of something else. And actually, we've only got as far as I think the D's.
So it turns out that there's a lot more coffee roasters than we thought.
There are. You're actually, having said, talking about me being blurry, you're also a little bit blurry. Have you got something on the lens?
No.
Okay.
I can't be blurry. It's
maybe
one of those webcams.
Maybe it's the webcam. Maybe just compared to me now, you look blurry. Or
mine
does it look good on your screen? Because it looks a bit maybe
good on my screen, but
maybe then it'll probably be all right. It's just maybe the internet bandwidth has bandwidth you down. You're like an 80s video game.
I'm pixelated.
In more ways than one, and also the picture's not great. So
I see what you mean.
Oh, 80s made the best video games. I used to load them up on my Commodore 64 cassette. Wait half an hour for it to load.
Oh yeah.
Kids nowadays they just play. They don't know what they've got. They don't know how good.
Yeah, and also they never mistakenly put those in the stereo.
Yeah, and then
that is a scary experience.
Why is it not playing?
Why is it not playing?
Really
what
get
is
into
this
music.
stuff?
I could really get into it. Starting a new generation of music. Listen, we prevaricated. How are we going to do this? So we're going to break it down into dark roast espresso, like rich dark roast espresso.
Yes.
Everything else espresso. We don't drink an awful lot of light. We will drink medium stuff.
Yes.
Espresso. I'm going to switch screens for a second. You're going to ask why. The reason why is
because you can.
Because I can. Yeah, exactly. Well, having said I can, it didn't work. So hold on. There it is.
There you go.
There we go. So I'll have to switch screen and I'll look over there. God, that's useless. I have no idea. I have to go back to this one. If I ever go out of, I am on this one. It makes me sound like a real pro podcaster. Which screen are we on? I need an engineer. I said I can shout at. I can maybe do that to my son to do. So we got dark roast. We've got the everything else roast. Then I'm surprising you, Matt, because you know I love to spring stuff on you.
Ooh.
I'm going to talk about, and if you don't have anything here, it's okay because it kind of is a little unfair. I sprung on you, but I want to have my favorite supermarket coffee. Ooh. I say this, but this is a new category because I haven't particularly, there's not been a huge variety of supermarket coffee that I've liked. This is obviously beans I'm getting from the supermarket, but recently I've had some and that I really liked. And so I thought, why not throw it in there? Because now there's a couple of decent, in fact, there's 3 beans out there with a little bit of variety. So I'm going to talk about those.
All the guys with curled up mustaches and
the handlebar mustaches.
Yeah,
the handlebar mustache guy, espresso snobs are all, well, they don't tune in. They don't listen to us anyway. So Max, having had all this time to prepare whilst I talked.
Yes, I'm actually going through my notes because I realized that I didn't take notes of the last 2 that I've ordered to single them out. So I'm that good.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first? Shall I go first with something, or do you want to?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. I love it because I know I'm going to say something that you hate. But for me, I've actually got the empty packet right here. Whilst I was looking this up, I thought, I started really wanting this. I ordered another half kilo.
Half a kilo.
Yeah, half a kilo, because I'm worried it's going to lock down and locked out everything. We're now in this new category 4 lockdown, which means you can't leave, you can't do anything, which was just invented like, I don't know, yesterday or something. So I thought, well, I better go and get a big ton of coffee in case, I can't go out at all. In case no one can deliver anything. I mean, what if we go to category 5? There's no category 5 right now, but there might in the future be. There might be a category 6 where we all have to lock ourselves in the bedrooms and wrap ourselves in cellophane. I mean, some of us do that anyway. But so what I've got is the Redbur Christmas Blend. These guys don't even know we exist. I just keep ordering from them. And I actually ordered my grinder from them. The grinder for which I've had now for the best part of 6 months. I still can't remember what it is.
That's good.
We were talking in that Facebook group. And I said, I've got and I just guess. Whenever I tell people what grinder I've got, I kind of guess.
Yeah,
It's a sort of a big
that
75 mil burb. I think it's a Eureka Atom or something. And
when Nick says on Facebook, writes his grinder, it's not that he has many grinders, he just doesn't remember. So
I make it up every time. I know.
Today is an Eureka, tomorrow might be a Gadja, who knows?
Yeah, does it really matter?
Not really.
I don't think it really matters to any of these people. So look, this is Red Burr. Red Burr are based out in Guildford.
Okay.
This is the Christmas blend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you didn't like it, but I absolutely loved it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because I can, and you can't shut me out. All I need to do, stop it. I can actually mute you. I've got a screen over here. This is my screen. If I just switch over to here, yeah, it's very strong. I have to say. It's very strong, but it is packed full of flavor, absolutely packed full of flavor.
It is.
Yeah, and I can't find it now. They've got a lot of coffee. I think there was some from Ethiopia. Oh, here it is. No, oh, thank God. I was descending into bad. Oh, look, there's somebody's giving it. One person's giving it a 1 star, and then everyone else is giving it 5 stars. At least you know what?
Wasn't me.
It probably was you.
It wasn't me.
Because I like it when people put up their bad reviews because it shows they're not afraid of, and it shows the reviews are kind of honest. But here's what they say about it. They say it's a complex and warming blend of Kenyan Bora, Ethiopian Giamma, natural. Ooh, it's a natural processed. I would not have guessed that. And a monsoon Malabar, combining chocolatey, fruity, and spicy flavor notes to create a warming, festive cup. I think it's pretty much spot on. It was rich, it was spicy, it was chocolatey. And did I mention it was strong? And I love strong coffee. So as far as you know how I feel about my breakfast coffee, like later on in the day, 11, 12 o'clock, okay, I can have something that's a little bit more of a medium blend. Let me just switch my screen.
Just looking at different directions.
I just got to do that.
It's actually very smooth, this transaction, and you're gone.
Oh, it's the love of God. Oh, I have gone too. What's gone wrong with me?
I don't know. You're a big X now. That says Fujifilm webcam.
Oh no! Oh,
you broke
I'll
it.
switch.
I'll
switch back to there again. Yeah. I might have to look at on this screen all the time. Well, we were experimenting around. This is the first time I've used that system. Oh God, technology. So that's what I think about. So I'm very happy to make that my pick for my strong espresso. Yeah. Max, what are you going to pick for your strong espresso? So
I had actually a bit of a difficult one to pick, and it was between the Casa Espresso El Salvador and the Beansmeat and Revive, which was a blend though, which is funny enough. But I think, oh, there you are. You're back.
Yeah, you know what it was? I realized if I switch off the Zoom call, then my camera goes into power safe mode.
Right.
We can never stop recording, Max. We're gonna be stuck like this.
There you go. So personally, I think I would go for the strong espresso, for the Beansmeat and Revive. Which is a blend, and it's very chocolatey, very standard coffee flavor that you would expect, actually. And I really like that. I'm not going to go for because in theory another one that is actually a dark roast, and I really like it, is the one that I'm drinking again now because my wife is an absolute star again, and she ordered another kilo of the Dominican coffee. The Santo Domingo
the Dominican
coffee, which is out of the world, but it's hard to get. It doesn't have a roasting date, so I would not include it in this particular one. Although it's very, very nice. So I'm gonna go for the Beansmeat and Revive. It's a very standard. It's not really a dark roast, to be honest. It's actually sort of a mild dark roast. very chocolatey, very standard coffee flavor that you would expect, and it goes well as a cappuccino and it goes well as an espresso. So actually, it's really nice.
If I
And
remember correctly, I think it won some food awards as well. Or maybe it got a couple of good food stars or something, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I proceeded to forget about it, so I don't really. It doesn't really make a difference.
Did you not buy any more of that? Did I buy you some more? Did you buy some more?
I bought some more because I wanted to single it out against actually the Casa Espresso, which I'm going to put as. So I'm gonna keep going. For the lighter roast, I'm going to put that because they're both. I think they're both performing in between the dark roast and light roast. So as a lighter coffee, I think the Casa Espresso El Salvador, it was one of my favorites.
Casa Espresso was really good. So going back to Bean Smitten, I have to say, when we were talking, remember we were talking a couple of weeks ago, and we were sort of divvying up who was going to buy which coffee and review which for the second time around, because we wanted to buy it again in case we had like a one-off good experience. So and when you picked the Bean Smitten, I secretly inside cursed you because I really wanted to drink that one. And frankly, it's an easy choice to make. It's a great coffee. It's a great tasting. You can't say it blows you away with complexity or anything else, but that's not what you want. What you want is a beautiful chocolatey, a rich espresso with flavor, and easy to pour. If I remember correctly, it was quite easy to pour.
Yeah, it was very easy to dial in, and also I wanted to try it again with the new grinder, which did make a difference.
Or your hand grinder?
Yes.
Ah.
So my hand grinder, if you've watched the previous episode where I review it in favor of camera, making a bit of a mess, it's actually helped me to make even better coffees. So it when compared with a Gaggia MDF and the Gaggia Paros is significantly superior, which is probably not a big win about it because they are relatively cheaper grinders, perfectly capable, but cheaper
you're
grinders.
Still loving that grinder then?
Oh yeah. So definitely that's I am sold on that.
Trying to find some way to make an excuse to buy one.
Just go for it. Just bite the bullet and try it.
I can't do that. I might have to break something first. I have to break one of my grinders. Oops. And then I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got too much stuff. I got too much gear all over the place.
You need it.
Stop it. You're like the devil popping up.
You need it.
All right. So next on my list. So we've got gone through that. I mean, you look at my coffee bags I got in here. So that's that one down. By the way, completely unrelated, but my friend Adrian's gave me a whole bunch of this. It's his own. You can't see it. Can you see that?
Now getting better. Closer.
Well, okay.
Get it closer. There you go. Alien 8.
Yeah.
Alien 8.
Yeah, he's a security guy, like a cyber hacking guy. So that's his hacking.
Dark
Horde, and he gave me this one here. The Golden Horde.
Right. Good.
Yeah, Golden Horde. So I've been drinking those, but I obviously can't recommend those. Actually, what I have to say is this. Disclaimer at the front, except it's kind of in the middle, that we are not going to include Carvetti in this because Carvetti coffee, because they're doing some articles for us and we kind of doing some stuff with them. So I can't be independent, but I do really like their coffees, but we can't include them in this because I couldn't help but be biased. So we just left them out.
That's fair enough.
It's just fair enough, innit, mate? So for my middle, I've got a joint. A joint. Yeah, I know what we agreed, but I like breaking the rules, Max, because I'm a rebel. There's a joint kind of winner on the medium roast for me. So you've done your medium roast. Yeah. So your medium roast favorite coffee that you've had this year was the Casa Espresso.
Yeah.
Yeah. From El Salvador, was it?
El Salvador is good. I think it's also Casa Espresso that does the Pedra Branca, the Brazilian one.
Uh-huh.
And Casa Espresso, actually, they offer a cool thing, which is a coffee subscription. And the thing is that they change coffee quite often, and in a way that's good because they vary things. But in another way, is sometimes a little bit of a pain because if you find something that you really like, it might run out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something that I get like, oh, I really like this one. Oh, it's a limited edition. Damn.
But that's like having vegetables all year round. You're just spoiled. You think that you should be able to have strawberries in the middle of winter.
That is fair. That is fair.
And
But
actually, the
then,
joy of life, Max, is that you can't have everything all the time. You have to appreciate something when it's there. A bit like me. You need to appreciate me whilst I'm here. One day I won't be here anymore, and then you'll be sorry. But you'll be sorry about all those times you made fun of me, all those times that
oh,
you poked fun of me.
no, I'm never gonna be sorry for that. I enjoy
I'm
it.
remember how special I am is what I'm trying to say. Now listen. Also, so one of my coffees, which I'm still
JavaScript.
drinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you stop going, oh yeah, the camera will focus on me, people.
Just put it in
There
front
it
of
is.
you. There you go.
Oh God, you're talking again. That you can see it, but the people can't see it unless I talk and you don't talk. There we go. So it's the Beanbury JavaScript espresso. And I really like this. It pours well. I have to say it's interesting because there's a little bit of latitude in this. I suppose it depends on your taste. And when I say about latitude, I mean you can brew it as an espresso in different ways and get a different kind of experience from your espresso. So this morning I had three, only in the name of due diligence.
Yeah. That's why you're blurring. You're not blurry. You're shaking.
I'm just shaking. It's not the camera going in out of focus. It's just me. Uh, I made 3 espressos with that this morning, and I was just playing around with the different amounts of coffee. So
All right.
grind size the same, and just the different amounts, and then how long I was putting it for. And a lot of times, once it's a little bit over extracted, it tastes horrible. A little bit under extracted, it tastes horrible. And I found with this is a lot of latitude. That is to say, I can pack more coffee in there. So like if I pack 20 to 21 grams in, obviously into the appropriate size basket as per our Making Good Espresso podcast. If you pack about 20 to 21 grams in, and then pull it for, I think I was pulling it for 30 seconds, and getting 40 odd grams out. Was that right? Yeah, about 40 odd grams out. Then you get a really rich, as you'd expect, like a really rich cup of espresso. And it would be quite a thick, kind of syrupy mouthfeel. It'd be fantastic. So I'd love that sometimes. Other times I want it a little bit more, perhaps a little bit more flavor, a little bit lighter. So then what I did was I cut it down to, I think, 17 or 18 grams in a different basket. 17, I may even put 16 and a half. Can't remember. Anyway, so basically I changed quite significantly the amount of coffee I put in there. And I ran it for about, I think, 22 seconds, something like that, and got 40 grams out. And that was also delicious, but a different kind of delicious. So, and it pours very well. It generally doesn't spurt all over the place. Every now and then you get a coffee bean, which if you're making it in a naked porter filter, you can kind of see how it goes. And even though you've done all of the steps, it just goes everywhere.
It just explodes.
It just explodes all over your kitchen. And we know that can't be our fault. It's the fault of the beans. So
definitely, it's the beans. It's not a preparation or anything. No. Never.
Never.
Do you tamp? Did you tamp these?
I've been tamping, but what I've been doing is I groom it with actually I've got this little now. I've eschewed the chopstick, which is a bit thick, for a tiny little kitchen ceramic knife, and I carve it. I just go through like in a crisscross pattern, and I make sure there's no clumps and it's all sort of just it's right to the side.
Aren't
Then
you
I
afraid of scratching the filter?
I hadn't thought about that. Thanks for ruining once again.
Okay.
I'll go back to the toothpick model. The trouble with the toothpick model is the toothpicks just get a bit dirty. Anyway, so so I don't think I would, because I don't scrape it. I mean, I just kind of go through the coffee. I think I'm okay. Anyway, then I twiddle it with my twiddly knob thing, my distribution tool. And
twiddly knob.
My twiddly knob. So I put the twiddly knob in, and then I have been tamping, but I've been tamping ever so slightly. Just a little push, just a little,
just a little.
That's a little like that. Nothing aggressive. Nothing that's that makes me scream Hulk. And that's what I do. So I've been getting really great results with that. Then the second runner-up. So that was Beanbury. I think they're a decent sized company. Actually, they've got shops around the place as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually remember. So just saying, you cursed me when I chose the the Beansmitten, and I cursed you when you chose that.
Ah, did you? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That was a very, very nice coffee. I'm actually going to order it again. I completely forgot about it, to be honest.
I remember how much you liked it, which is why I got it for myself.
Fair enough.
And that kind of ties with the Peabury Bilbao.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And
that was very good.
Look, my planning all depended upon me being able to switch screens and read like a pro all about the Peabury Bilbao, which I can't do now because my camera switches off because it thinks I'm no longer needing it. It goes to sleep. But from memory, the thing about the thing about Peabury coffee is this guy Gerald's the main roaster there, and he's a lovely guy. So it makes it easier to like his coffee. He sort of sends us little handwritten notes, and he bless him. He's such a sweetheart. But that aside, this is a kind of coffee that you'll either absolutely love or it won't be for you, because it's a Colombian. It's a Colombian coffee, if I remember correctly. And if I've got this all wrong, Gerald, feel free to write me an angry note. I'd love to see what your angry notes sound like. I imagine at his total angriest, he'd be like, "I'm mildly disappointed," which would be crushing. But no, I'm pretty sure it's Colombian, and it's got that kind of Colombian feel to it. It's got that Colombian kind of taste. Like, a Colombian coffee when you taste one.
Yeah, he's he's an expert in Central American coffees.
I did not know that. Is he really?
Yeah. That's that's what he normally does. And the first coffee I tried from him was an African coffee, was a Irga coffee, and I did not like it one bit. And then it turns out actually normally he does Central American and not African.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, look, so it makes therefore I'm on the mark. Colombian coffee. Maybe try some other ones from him. He's got quite a few in there now. I also loved his hot chocolate because his hot chocolate's really good, and he uses coconut sugar in there. So a lot of other people will use other types of sugar or cane sugar or just sugar, which is not great. Whereas coconut sugar is generally perceived as much healthier. But anyway, regardless of healthy or not healthy, it's bloody good. So really good. Definitely go and try his hot chocolate. But no, so his coffee is Bilbao coffee from Colombia. It's an excellent coffee. It's it's mild. It's got that Colombian taste to it. You just can tell it's been roasted really well. It's a delightful coffee and espresso. I also imagine it'll be a delightful coffee, frankly, in a cafetiere as well. French press.
I actually remember another one from him, which is is it the right way around for you?
Yeah.
Goodie.
I can't. Well, I started talking to answer you, and then I can't see it anymore.
Oh, that's fine.
what was it?
The blend, the Peaberry blend, the Peace and Hope blend was actually really nice. I remember that because it had a banana and walnut, and I was actually able to get the banana out, which was brilliant.
Shut up! You never shared that with me. You never told me about this. Did you share that with me?
Of course, I did share it with you. Peace and Hope. I did share it with you.
Did you? Is it one of the ones when I came over you put into a tin or a bag?
Yes.
Okay. Oh well, then I can't. Yeah, I can't remember the name. I just remember drinking the coffee and going, "That's nice." Yeah. So definitely. So Peabury is definitely worth putting on your list if you like Central American coffees, I guess. But certainly that Colombian taste. If you know what I'm talking about and you like Colombian coffees, go hit up Peabury and their Bilbao coffee because it's very good, very tasty. Yeah.
Another thing I remember from the Peabury coffees was that all of them were very easy to dial in. I often remember this bit that it was very easy to dial it in, and it was always getting very, very nice coffee, always getting tiger stripes.
Yeah, I definitely was getting nice looking coffees out. I can't remember dialing in wise whether it was good or not. I hand on heart can't say. But then having said, if I can't remember, it's probably a good thing.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's we've covered our dark roast espressos. We've covered our medium roast espresso.
Decaf.
You talk about the decaf because I know you're going to pick the same one that I pick.
Yeah. So we did try. I think we tried at least 2, if not 3. The third one, to be honest, I don't remember it. So I remember the best 2 that we had was the Casa Espresso and the Clifton. Both are decaffeinated in a similar way. So they're both decaffeinated with ethyl acetate, called sugarcane process, but it's ethyl acetate. So they use a solvent to get the caffeine out, not the Swiss water. The Casa Espresso was nice, but it didn't make the cut. You could actually tell that it was a decaf in a way. Clifton decaf is amazing. It's a really amazing coffee. It's one of the best decafs and one of the best coffees I've ever tried. I actually order it. I'll be honest, I order it regularly because in the morning, first thing in the morning, we actually have a decaf.
Yeah. I'm going to call it the daddy of decafs. Clifton, you
Yes.
can take that. No need to pay me unless you want to. Daddy of decafs. And in fact, I'm going to order it right after we finish this podcast.
Yeah, it's really, really, really nice. It goes really well with cappuccino. It's very easy to dial in. It actually makes a very nutty and roasty and chocolatey flavor. And it doesn't run fast. One of the things of decafs is normally that they tend to run very fast because they're dried out of all the oils and all the things that make it a little thicker. That one somehow doesn't. It is slightly faster than normal coffees, non-decaf coffees, but not in a way that you would notice. It's actually quite easy to dial in. It's just one click under the normal espresso and you have a very good pour.
Yeah, definitely highly recommend it. Those guys make an amazing decaf. Like again, I actually thought, because that was the first decaf we tried, and I thought I'd had an epiphany about decaf and that I'd got it wrong all these years, that decaf was actually really delicious. And then we tried a whole bunch of others and realized, no, it was just that Clifton was very good.
Well, I mean, not completely. They are also tasty. They're quite tasty, and probably if you brew them in a slightly different way, they're very good. But yeah, you can tell. Most of the times you can tell.
I don't know. I didn't like the other decafs I had, but then maybe I didn't spend enough time with them. Maybe I didn't try enough different ones. But I sort of had the Clifton, and then afterwards I tried everything else I tried wasn't as good, and I thought, why am I even bothering? I'll just go back to the Cliftons. I mean, what's that thing that life's too something short for bad coffee? And it was kind of like
that is true.
Yeah,
also
true.
Flavor is very personal. So when people say, when you have reviews and even us saying, oh, I really like these, well, I did, someone might find it disgusting.
It is true. That's a very good point. It's all totally subjective, and then it depends on the machine you're using and everything else as well. So
you can always blame the machine if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Or Nick.
So you blame me. Yeah, or Max, who's just
but less likely.
I'm just a proxy for Max. When you blame me, we're really blaming Max together. I'll agree with you. We can gang up on him. So this is unexpected because look, I'm going to be just totally all out honest here and say when I forget to get coffees from roasters, or I go through too much, or it's been busy and I just haven't had time to order, I rush down to Waitrose typically. I find that in the UK, we've got Waitrose and Tesco's, and the Tesco's is like the main supermarket, and the Waitrose is a slightly posher one. And so I go to Waitrose not because it's posher, but because they've got, frankly, a better coffee selection. And it's a weird thing. Oh, I forgot to say, I've been having some conversations. Oh, I forgot to say. Okay. Oh, wait.
I don't know.
No. After the podcast, I'm going to tell you some kind of really interesting stuff.
Okay, so nobody will know about this.
Nobody will know.
Oh, that's good.
But I was having a conversation with this mystery person in the industry who is telling me, and I got some reports that he sent through about coffee trends. It's fascinating, but ground coffee is going down in the supermarket. Ground supermarket coffee sales are going down. Whole bean sales in the supermarkets is going up. And I don't think that the mainstream supermarkets, either their demographic is different or they haven't cottoned onto this, but Waitrose is right on the ball. They're on point because they have they've always carried, for example, Union coffee, both in ground and in bean form. And Union coffee would be my go-to. So if I've forgotten to get coffee or run out of coffee, I'd run down. And frankly, even sometimes I didn't, because it's good coffee, right? One of the things I really liked about the Union coffee, which is, it's Mr. Hoffman's, James Hoffman's company that he started. I don't know how involved he still is in it, but it's his roastery.
Okay.
Yeah, do you not know that? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I see. Actually, hold on a second. Maybe that's not
I thought
him.
it was.
No, sorry, he's something else, isn't he? What is he?
Mile.
He's Square Mile. Yeah, sorry, Square Mile. Sorry, James. God, he must hate me. So Union Coffee, very good. They're very good, and they give a roast date. They're the only bean in Waitrose that has a roast date on the back of it, and it's
Which
great.
is last year, but that's okay.
Well, you have to have a look. They're usually a couple months old, actually, but they're a lot better than the best before. So we've got absolutely no idea. And I would drink regularly their Revolution, which is their go-to sort of chocolate espresso, which is absolutely fine. It's a nice espresso. It pours really well. You just can't go wrong with it. You really can't. But they've got a couple of other ones there too, which are sort of a medium, a lighter roast kind of coffee, and those are okay, and they're okay. But I just go to the Revolution. Anyway, that's what I've always been doing. So with just that one coffee, I thought, well, there's no point including coffee beans from.
I have actually, I've used recently Morrison's Brazilian coffee.
Oh, do tell me.
Beans.
Tell me, what are they like?
The espresso is good. The problem is they're extremely oily. It's a very dark roast, and the coffee beans are really, really, really oily. They mucked up all of my canister, and they've covered in oil my grinder, which I was really annoyed because it comes as good espresso. It makes good espresso, I have to say. Because it's a dark roast. Dark roasts make good espresso, always.
Wow.
But it's very bitter. You can nitpick it if you want. But if you were to use it as in a, you invite someone and you make cappuccino with it, or you make even espresso or whatever, it wouldn't look half bad.
Okay, I mean, well, we're not. Our goal here is not to look half bad, Max. Our goal here is to go for delicious.
Exactly, which wouldn't be.
Which it wouldn't be. All right. If I was going to make that, though, I'd make sure if I had a neighbor that had a grinder, I'd rush around and grind in his grinder, so I didn't have to wreck mine.
Yeah, I would recommend that.
In the old days, when I was very old, when I was very young, because I'm very old, I was living in America, and I had this friend who was the cheapest friend ever. Like, he was a nice guy, he was a really good guy actually. His mother was lovely, because I was on such a budget, I could only eat one meal a day. I'm not joking. I could eat one a day. I was very skinny. And his mother used to take pity on me when I was very, very thin and looking very kind of dizzy and faint. And she used to take me and feed me. But he was very tight. And he used to come around on the pretense of coming to see me to my little studio apartment, which was full of cockroaches. And he used to come around. I'd always have to sleep with the lights on, try and keep the cockroaches out. And he'd come around with a stack of videotapes because he didn't want to rewind them on his machine. Because rewinding, we used to wear down the video recorder. So he used to come around and say, hey, do you mind whilst I'm here? I just rewind. So he used to use my machine to rewind his tapes. Just sit there, chat to me, just put them in one after the other, rewind them all, and then make his excuses and go.
Your video, your what is it called?
What?
Video
recorder, VCR.
The video recorder was probably wondering, am I gonna ever play something forward?
I remember having a girlfriend go over at the apartment once, and she told me, because we're sitting on the bed, because we had one of those beds that pulled out of the studio, pulled out of the wall, and we're sitting on the bed watching a movie.
Why is it crunchy?
No, she said, oh, I'm so glad that your place doesn't have cockroaches. And I'm watching one crawl up her leg. Thinking to myself, how can I, without her, I was 18 or something at the time. So back to this. Hey, listen, this is not my pick. This is not my pick, but it's a Pret-a-Manger. Pret-a-Manger have started selling beans.
Why?
Well, because no one's going to their shops. That's why they're doing it. Smell that. Can you smell it?
No, but I think I'm okay with that.
No, they're actually all right. They're not bad. Look, it's a big bag. I don't know how many grams this is. Actually, it's 450 grams for £9. That's about $10.
Mm-hmm.
Or after Brexit, about
a million.
You go the other way. It's about $2. So it's organic espresso blend. It's a dark roast, rich and chocolatey. It's got a unique flavor. I tell you the reason I bring this up is because A, it's new, and B, if you like Pret-a-Manger coffee, which I do actually, if you like Pret-a-Manger coffee, it's got that signature taste to it, and it's like being at the Pret-a-Manger. That's why I bring it up. But that's not my pick. My pick, sir. Can you do the drum roll? You got the drums? Thank you. Is Ella. Look at these beautiful beans, baby. And what this is, because in my camera is now, it's got face recognition. There's no face in the bag, so it won't. If I take my face out,
Gonzola? No.
It is. It's the our Gorongosa. Girls Run the World. Gorongosa is it's a park out in it's a national park out in Mozambique, I'm pretty sure. And I've known about these people for a while because they were a company actually I researched when they were out in America. Now they come to the UK and they are selling in Waitrose these bags. Now here's a tip. Here's a pro tip. If you buy 200 grams, because it's a 200 gram bag, online, it's like a £10 purchase. It's like 9 or 10 quid.
Yo.
Yeah, expensive. Go down to Waitrose right now. They got deals on. That same 200 bag that you'd pay £9 or £10 for, 3 quid.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Because I don't know. Because they're trying to get it out. They're trying to get people to taste it. It'll go like up to 9 or 10 quid. But I'm gonna stockpile as many bags as I can drink my way through. This is good. This is as good as many and better than many of the freshly roasted specialty beans that we've tried in the year, mate.
Is it?
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
It's a medium roast. So let me read it. And also it's a good cause. It's actually a very good cause. You have to go up and take a look at what these guys are doing with the money.
What's the cause? Because you haven't said it.
Well, okay. Well, it's Girls Run the World. They're big into supporting women education and women working, but also the Gorongosa Park out in Mozambique. They do a number of different things. So they've got elephants there and things like that. So if you're an elephant lover, which I am, Then they've got a blend that I think supports elephants, for example, out there. They've got the elephant blend. But this one here, here's what it says in the back. With any profits from this bag of coffee, you support the Gorongosa project to achieve its goals to provide education to girls in Gorongosa. So that's all about education. Only 11% of women in Mozambique complete a high school education. Together, our goal is for 20,000 girls to receive a high school diploma by 2035. So what I like about that is it meets all the requirements of a good metric, which is that it is SMART, being specific, and this is an acronym, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, repeatable, and time-based. So they've given all these things in here. I don't know if it's repeatable, but it's got all the other elements.
It's funny that I am the one that works in corporate, and I completely forgot that.
Yeah, I've got to have my little acronyms. My TLAs, my 3-letter acronyms.
Right.
Yeah. I'm ex-corporate. You can take the man out of the corporation, but you can't take the corporation out of the man.
Yeah, it would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, we can, but they don't say that. It's actually very painful, and it's a long bit of surgery. So that's my that's my recommendation is the Gorongosa. I got absolutely no problem with the Union Coffee as well, but I've been drinking it for bloody years, and I was so happy to see some other things come along. So now I go down there, I've got a choice, but I definitely think this Mozambique coffee from Gorongosa. It's pink, you can't miss it. It's a fantastic bag. It's £3 for 200 grams. Amazing bargain. It's I gave it to my friend Adrian. He didn't like it, but there's obviously something wrong with him. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. It's not subjective at all. It's good coffee. If you don't like it, go get a checkup at the health doctors because maybe there's a problem with your taste buds.
Or you can't smell, or you lost your sense of smell.
You've lost your sense of your sense of cell.
Sense of cell, which means you need to get tested.
Thank God I'm good at talking because I do these podcasts,
Yeah. Well, you said all the letters; they were just crumbled.
Yeah. And I've no idea how long this podcast has gone on for, but we're gonna wrap it up with talking a little bit about just the ethics and who could win the ethics side of things. So I went back through actually, and I looked at all the different companies that we are working with, and I mean, there's a number of them. Obviously, a number of them, most of them, in fact, are doing good things because they're directly involved with buying their coffee. So someone like Red Burr says, where we can, we buy direct. But a number of sort of stand out. So Bean Smitten, for example, gives a lot of details on the side. I always look for details. So Bean Smitten gives a lot of details. But the two, Max, that really stood out to me, which I liked, and it doesn't mean to say that other companies aren't doing great things, and probably people are going to be upset with me, but hey, I can't please everybody all the time. I know, because I've tried my whole life to please everybody all the time, and it doesn't work. So I'm going to pick two. And one is, surprise, these people I've just mentioned, Gorongosa, because their whole thing, they give all their profits. That's what they are. They're basically a non-profit. They give all their money to good causes in Mozambique. And they make great coffee. So what's not to like about that? That's number one. Number two is, and you're going to be, you might be surprised. You might be mildly surprised by this, but I tell you what, put on a really surprised face when I say it. It'll be great. All right, you ready?
Right.
Clifton.
Ooh.
That's a good surprise face. Well done, sir. Well done.
Genuinely surprised.
Yeah. Go check out Clifton. They if you go and take a look at how they source their coffee, not only they tell you what they do and how they source it, but they actually talk about projects they get involved with as well.
Right. Because we haven't mentioned this, but probably Clifton is the biggest company that we've been reviewing. They offer coffee machine servicing, professional coffee machine servicing. They sell coffee machines, professional coffee machines. So it's not your average small roaster. It's actually a very, very large roastery.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, it's a large company, and good for them because they actually make outstanding coffee. So it's great that they kept anyway the I don't know how to define it, to be honest, but specialty.
Mm-hmm.
And they also invest the time to put all of the information through, and they still work with small farms and small holders, which is great.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a lot of companies out there that do really terrible things and then they're unethical. And, you know, we're writing a lot of stories about this. I'm afraid a lot of it in the cocoa industry, because, and probably in the coffee industry as well, because those big corporations and companies are driven by short-term profits because their CEOs and so forth are on stock options. Actually did a story. I did a bunch of research in these bigger companies have annual reports that you can read. So they have what's called remuneration committees, and you can take a look to see exactly how their directors are remunerated, i.e. paid. And if you take a look at those, you see that actually the largest portion of the multi-million pound packages that these people are getting paid are made up from stock options, which are usually short-term. And so their motivation is to drive the price up. And how do they drive the price up? Of course, you can only drive the price up through a couple of different ways. You might just economics. It's supply and demand, and it's basically your profits and your costs. Sorry, your revenues and your costs. So they're either driving up revenues or driving down costs. And if they drive down costs at the expense of farmers or whatever else, but I've made another, I pocketed another 10 million. So unfortunately, there's a lot of, I'm not saying people are evil or anything else, but it's just unfortunate that the mechanisms of the financial rewards in big companies in the West that are listed on stock markets, the mechanisms to pay them in order to attract the good people, you have to pay people, and those mechanisms, the financial structures, are all oriented around short-term goals. And those short-term goals come at the expense of something and somebody, and it's usually the little guys on the ground who don't have the power to do anything about it. So when you take a look at the smaller and the medium-sized companies, these guys are actually oftentimes driven a lot more through passion and interest and working with people and long-term partnerships. And it's very nice to see companies doing something that makes a positive impact, and I get to report upon stuff like that, which is far more interesting or rewarding to me than it is to continuously churn out stuff that's kind of negative about the big companies and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really heavy note to end on. So happy Christmas, Max. Just,
what have you done?
You know, I was about halfway through that. I realized, man, this is such a downer.
Good God.
Sorry, we'll cut all that out. I've been making all sorts of appointments for people next week, and somebody turned around to me, well, it is Christmas, Nick. And I went, what? Already?
It is what?
It is. It's Christmas next week. So I'm going to take 2 weeks off. Thank God.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to take 2 weeks off, and I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. What are you going to do, Max?
Me? I'm going to stay home.
I know. Well, are you going to stay? We're all going to stay home because we're in level 10.
Yeah.
Or something.
Stay home and be safe. I'm still working until the 22nd.
Nah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. All right.
And then I'm going to take 2 weeks off.
Yeah? Okay. So when are we going to do what? We're going to do the thing. What's the next podcast going to happen?
Next year on the second weekend.
Second week of January. So we'll be back, folks, on the second week of January.
Look it up. Look up when that one is.
Yeah. We might just surprise you. I mean, the best thing to do is to subscribe, and it'll just land in there it's kind of like a Christmas all over again. You've had your Christmas, you've had your presents, you have that kind of come down where you're like, I've had all my presents now. And then bam, you just get landed with another podcast from Bar Talks. And like, wow.
We might be talking about coffee machines.
We're going to probably talk more about coffee machines because
that's what people like.
Our thing goes way up when we talk about coffee machines and making coffee and coffee machines. Apparently, people who are interested in coffee want to hear about machines and how to make coffee. And it's only taken us 33 episodes to work that out. So
that's pretty good, actually.
in another year, we
we might actually talk.
We
of
might have a
something
clue.
sensible.
We might even have a clue.
Yeah. So I'm still waiting for my GS3, by the way. Mr. Mazzocco.
Oh man, they've just updated the Linear Mini with some software in it. Well, no, sorry, they've actually updated the PCB board in the Linear Mini so that it's now they call it an IoT device, and it makes me want to not want it so badly.
IoT, I own things.
That's one way of looking at it, or it could be Internet of Things. It means it's
Jesus
Internet
Christ!
enabled.
No, why would you do that?
Yeah. And apparently it's already starting to see gremlins. So if you go and you knock the app, the app with the temperature control doesn't work, or it conflicts with the temperature control on the machine. So if you have a temperature control on the machine and you're setting something completely different on the app, it doesn't work. You've got to, by it doesn't work, I don't know what happens. It writes
the only
automatically.
Useful thing on coffee machines that can be smart is a smart plug.
Period. Yeah. I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. I mean, I sort of like the idea that you can have recipes, and I think here's the deal. So I got a friend who had to pull over by the side of the road because her Audi Q6, I think it was. Anyway, some super ridiculously expensive car that cost more than my house wasn't working properly, and she pulled over, and she got out, and she's calling into Audi, and they're like, I see. Okay. If you could just pop the hood open now, ma'am. So she pops the hood open. This is in America because they call people ma'am because they're polite. And it says, okay, if you could just disconnect the battery and we'll reboot the car. I'm like, I spent $100,000 on a car or something, and the service technicians are telling you to disconnect the battery to reboot it.
You basically turn it off and on again.
Turn it off and on again, and at least it didn't come up with that ding, ding, ding for Windows booting. That would be, that would be Intel Inside. That would be like my worst nightmare. But that would be my worst nightmare on a coffee machine. So this is what I fear is where we're going to go, because let's face it, nobody in the world of making coffee machines has got a lot of experience in making apps. So they won't be. They'll be outsourcing it, but they won't even know the questions to ask when they're outsourcing it. They probably haven't done all kinds of, I know they've done testing, but have they really done testing?
But I'm going to give them a little bit of advice to anyone that's developing, these smart things and recipes. If a person is willing to spend £3,000 or £5,000 on a coffee machine, they don't do recipes. And if they do recipes, they're wrong.
No, I don't know.
My personal view.
I know. I haven't spent £3,000 on a coffee machine, but I kind of like the idea. So you say this recipes. I don't know. I think there could be some. I'm a bit curious about thinking like what would it be like if I go down my coffee machine and I get a notification that Max, who's trying the same coffee as me, says, Nick, try this recipe. It's delicious. Kind of like the idea of that. And I can taste it and I can write back, it's disgusting. Try this one. And
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But equally on the other side, there's something that says, no way, I don't want to have that. Get away from my machine. Give me a nice solid metal lever and I'll play and I'll twiddle and it'll be an art. And this whole thing is going to take away the art. It's going to turn it into a really annoying app that I have to update, and then it won't work, and I'll have to check my internet connection, but the internet will be down, so I won't be able to make my coffee, and I'll start jumping and up and down and having a bit of a strop. That's my fear. Is it going to go that kind of direction?
It's very likely that there's going to be, let's say that there is someone testing something and you want to download it. Well, there is someone out there trying things, so you might as well do it as well. You do the same. So there are forums for it. There are communities on the internet, on Facebook. There are groups. That's way better than having someone else's recipe, because you know what? You can do it yourself. You don't need to download it from someone else.
Well, I've got the Akaya Pearl scales. I've forgotten how much I spent on that, but a fair amount of money. And not once Not once, Max. Not once in the last, I don't know, 8 months I've had it have I been able to get the app to work.
Yeah.
That said, I haven't tried that often because after the first day of trying, I just, I wanted to send it back, throw it against the wall or something. It was too expensive to throw. I picked it up and then I went, yeah, no, it's too expensive. I put it back. So
pretend that I've beaten you on the table.
Yeah, I just gave it I frowned. Like, like you only an English person can frown because we don't say things because we're too polite. We just frown. So anyway, so the La Marzocco Linea Mini, and I think all of them are now going to come with new PCB boards and apps, so you will be able to control them with an app, and no doubt find a whole range, a whole new world of interesting ways to frustrate and annoy yourself.
Yep. So, Mr. Marzocco, we're still waiting for our test. GS3, Linea Mini, whatever you want to send us.
I don't want a La Marzocco. I just don't want one. I don't like them because I told you I told you why I don't like them.
Yeah, that's fine. But to test, that's okay.
No, I don't want one. I just want to ignore them. I will take a Victoria Arduino. I will take actually I'm very happy to take a Victoria. I'll take an ECM. I'll take a Gaggia.
Yes.
I'll take lots of different machines. There's lots of machines out there. I don't need the La Marzocco.
Yeah, no, we're more than happy to test all of them.
Yeah, we'll be. In fact, you know what? I might actually. Yeah.
We might even try to do that.
There is there is a company I'm talking to, and also there's companies like Profitec and Rocket. There's a ton out there to try. I'm just I want the one that's perfect. But I don't have to pay the amount of money that they're asking. So I'm just waiting for the miracle. I'm waiting for the miracle where the perfect, thing comes along and it's like, oh my God, that's perfect. It's only £500. So I might be waiting a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the terrible disappointment.
So I love to end the year on a terrible disappointment. We've gone through, I think we've covered off very serious with, a lot of pathos, talk about the market activities. Then we've gone into disappointment, and I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't know.
2021, that kind of wraps it up. 2020 rather. It kind of wraps up 2020. And it puts into context 2021, that sets our sights into what to expect for 2021. Let's just hope there's good coffee, because I think we're going to need it in the next year, Max.
Yeah. But we're going to get good coffee next year. Hopefully. Yes.
We're going to keep the coffee coming. Look, everything else can go to hell, but as long as I still get my good coffee through, I'll make it through the day.
I like that.
All right, buddy. Have a wonderful Christmas.
You too.